Hi, team. How you doing? Good to see you all tonight. We were just briefly sharing earlier how, I love this time of year because it really is a time of reflection, looking back to our journey and how we got to where we are today, okay? And if you're it's not that you're not happy, but haven't achieved the audacious goal that we've been talking about all year, I'll let you know that you are much closer to that goal than if you hadn't set that goal, okay? And that's something I've learned over the years, and I love this this phrase that Joan shared with me, that when you're in harmony with your soul's purpose, things get easier. Okay, so what is your soul purpose? Have you ever really thought about what you wanted to do with your time here on earth? Okay, get away from the business a little bit. One of my goals was to be an awesome mom. Like, I wanted to be in my kids' life. I wanted to be involved in their sporting activities. I wanted to relive my youth through my kids because I love sports, right? Loved playing basketball, volleyball. I was so glad when my kids started playing basketball. And, so those are some of the things that, I really inspired. And I was so grateful to look back to say, I could never take that back. It's been such an amazing journey. And then when I joined the police force, it's funny, you're naive when you're in your 20s. You think you can change the world. You think you can have this huge impact in people's lives. And I just found
training right now.
Okay? Oh, sorry, hang on, guys.
Bye-bye.
Oh, I can't mute. Cindy has to mute. Sorry. Yeah, Cindy has to mute. Oh, there you go. Thank you, Cindy. Can you mute everybody, Cindy?
Sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. I just didn't want everything on the recording. I always forget. Can you mute Cindy or no? You're muted. Pauline's still not muted. Sorry. Okay, I can unmute myself now too. Thank you. So, when you're looking at the journey, and I was sharing with you how, when I chose my career, and some of you are in careers where you're making an impact, you're enjoying your job, you're doing what you love, and some of you were like me, where I just lost that passion for doing what I was doing. I really joined the police force. I was so excited, I was so passionate, and that kind of disappeared. I didn't have that passion and drive anymore. So, that harmony wasn't there anymore. That feeling of having an impact and having a purpose. I was grateful. I worked with a great group of guys, but there was just something missing. And I think Neolife filled that void, right? I felt like, not only was I helping my family with their health, but that empty feeling was gone, because I loved what I was doing. I looked forward to leaving my job and rushing to meetings. And, back then we drove to all our meetings, they weren't local. Like, luckily they were local initially, but when I moved up north, I was still driving down to Mississauga twice a week, going to my meetings, because I had this goal, for my husband to leave his job as well after I left my job. So, there has to be that drive and that purpose. So I think it's really important when you're projecting your goals for 2022, you need to really discover and find out what's going to drive you, what's going to give you that feeling of, my gosh, I can't wait to get to. And I'm not saying you're going to be able to make it to all the meetings. Okay. Things come up, totally understood. Okay. But if you're home and you're kind of doing other things other than coming on some of the video calls and you're making up excuses, then you can't blame the inactivity to you not being successful in achieving your goals. Okay, so really, really important that you look at your activity, you look at what's driving you. I find that it's really important that your goals need to be realistic. So, when I said I want to quit my job, that was realistic, but I wasn't going to quit my job in a year. right? I knew that I had a five-year window. We knew we wanted to start a family. We knew that I wanted to stay home and raise our kids, not having to work a regular job. But we knew it would take some time. So, you know, saying that I'm going to be a diamond by the end of this year, it's not realistic. Okay. And it's funny, we've had people say that aloud at some of our events at conventions. And when they say that goal and they're not even a sapphire yet, we just we look at that as like, whoa, like that is a goal that can really be, we just know it's not realistic, right? So we really got to make sure that you put your goals into perspective. And I'm not saying not to have that vision of being a diamond, okay? But that'll take time to get there. You need to set those goals as you're building your business and getting to that spot, okay? And everyone has different goals, you know, lives are different, timing is different, and it's very important that you know, with your upline, you plan these goals and you talk about these goals, because either Joan or myself or like Lynn with your downline, you know what Wen wants, you know what her goals are. And as an upline, you know, you need to be there to guide her, to support her, and to take her along this journey and be a mentor to her. Okay. So I had Alan and Elise were my mentors, and Jim Stevenson was my mentor. Okay. And then when Patricia was running the Neolife office, she was my mentor. So I had somebody that I could talk to help me and to guide me into looking at where I want to be 5 years from now, 1 year from now. Okay. But it's also really important that, you know, when you write down your goals, that you memorize them. You need to know what you want. You have to have a clear vision. And I know, Wen, now that you've written 4,000 PV at different places in your room, on your wall, on your bathroom window, in your kitchen, on your curtains, in your family room, I think I saw 4,000 PV on your sliding doors. You know, I'm not sure if any of you have taken on that challenge, but I remember when I used to have 4,000 PV written, oh my gosh, and little sticky notes, and you know, it's fun, but it keeps you keeps that your subconscious mind kind of looking at and focusing on where you're going and the journey. It's amazing how things and people just come out of nowhere when you have these things that you're looking at and you're speaking them aloud, you're sharing it with your upline. So write them down, and there should be some deadlines. I know, Joan, we talked about deadlines earlier today and having those goals. And I do write in my joy journal. I gave some of you a joy journal at our little gathering that we had the other day, but this is something I write in every day. Okay, whether it be morning, night, it's really, really important that you write down your goals, you have that clear vision, you memorize your goals, and just, yeah, really, really important. So does anybody using a system where they're writing things down? I know, Serena, you had a vision board that you found that came up from the past. Anybody want to share a little bit? Maybe Joan, if you want to kind of elaborate a little bit more on what we've talked about so far. Anybody? Any feedback? I want some interaction now, guys. Unmute yourself if you want to speak.
Okay, this is Pauline speaking.
Yes, Paul.
One thing I wrote down in my book was, I'm a Neolife director, not to be average, but to be awesome.
I love it. And how often do you read that?
Maybe just once a day for now.
That's good. No, that's good. Because they say that by that positive vibration puts you on that you know, that energy where people just start coming to you, right? Even though you're looking for people and you're talking, you're sharing, but the people will just start to come, right? Yeah. So yeah, it puts you on that positive state, the positive vibration. I love it, Pauline. And have you noticed, since you've, you know, started journaling or writing these goals down, have you noticed a difference in your energy and how you're feeling, and you know, when you're talking to people, have you noticed a difference at all?
Yes, there's sometimes I do, sometimes, yes, sometimes.
Okay. Excellent. Anybody else?
Then I wrote just one more. When I set my goals, I'm doing something that I really believe in. And I believe it's important to focus on this, what I set as my goal, and be realistic with it as well. And then when I need help, I call on Joan.
Yeah, and that's what's so important. You need to call on your upline or your mentor, whoever you're mentoring you. It's really important to have that person that you can reach out to. Really, really important. Okay. Even today, like I was, driving back from, I had to meet Cindy for something halfway. I forgot my laptop charger and I was in a bit of a bind and I had to meet her halfway to Barrie, and on the way back, and Joan and I were talking about goals and some of the things that she's been experiencing and just bouncing ideas off of Joan. And she even inspired me and gave me some, even me after 30 years, I still need some guidance. And I still need to reach out to people, especially with the growth that Joan has had in her team in such a short time, and she's changed. And Joan, you have changed dramatically over the last 2 years. Your whole, and it's not just about Neolife. In life, in perspective, with everything that's going on in the world, there's so much negativity. There's so many challenges with people and friends being separated, and I reached out to you, Joan, because you have an amazing perspective on how to look at things and how to overcome some of the challenges that we've all had over the last 2 years, right? So awesome. Thank you, Pauline, for that. Joni?
You're welcome.
It's all about mindset,
Mindset, yeah.
Key thing, and I talk a lot with Leonie and I, in terms of your thoughts, right? What
Yeah.
you're thinking about. And I think that the big thing about us, I'm saying we, because I think we can all do better, right? We don't, next year, this time, we don't want to be at the same place that we're at right now, right?
Mhm.
Does anyone dispute that? Does anyone want to advance, right, from where we are today, right? Because I've been on a plateau for a long time as well, too. Just last year, I did a shift, right? But I can go on plateau again, but I have to work on it, right? And I know I need to do that work. But so we have to think in terms of where do we want to be next year this time, right? So it's that mindset, right? And I was talking to Nada about struggle, right? We feel we have to struggle, but if we do it properly, like when we set our vision and our goals, and I'm using some of the terms that I've learned in terms of the infinite side of you, just doing you write on your goals, using your imagination, you just bringing yourself to a higher vibration, right? So you attract what you're asking for. So it's less of a struggle rather than thinking, I got to do this, I got to do all that stuff, right? So, and it's been working for me. I see it all the time when I'm in the right mindset. It happens. People call me, and things happen, right? So it's all mindset, I think, and the two mindset, like growth mindset, even when we're trying to achieve stuff, and if we don't achieve exactly what we want, we have grown. I think we've all grown over the last year, right? So you have to look at that, appreciate that part of the process. It's about growing. That's the eventual thing. The money and the titles are just a little icing on the cake, but you want to grow as a person, right? That's the.
And that's what Elijah shared today. I was very impressed by that because they've been top of the charts. The Achievers Club have been like all the top. I think Margaret was the first person to finally knock them down a little bit. But it was interesting to hear him say that their goal wasn't the title. Like it was, they had, as a family, they needed the income, right? And because they were struggling, they didn't have enough money at the end of the, they ran short of month, they said, before they ran out of money. And it was a challenge. And, here he is, a husband with his wife and having a family, title, they didn't even understand what the titles were, but they were achieving these titles. And then when he jumped up to one ruby, that, and I'm not saying that we shouldn't strive for titles, but we definitely need to set goals for growth. And the titles are just a measure, right? The activity on what you've done. right? So, and income comes along with it, right? So, so yeah, so you have to prioritize and memorize your goals, and this is the seed of action. So you really need to have a clear vision of what you want and what you need to do to get there, okay? So
Maybe
visualizing, sorry?
maybe some people can share, or you're going to share after? Okay.
No, go ahead, yeah, no,
And
share.
one of the things I find personally is that, you know, the three daily habits, the personal growth tops everything for me. Unless you grow, you know, that's where all the limiting beliefs and all those things. That's what holds you back. You know, Neolife has a great plan. We have great products, but what's holding us back? And I think it's the personal growth that we need to achieve, and then everything will happen after that.
Yeah. Len, you have your hand up? You can unmute yourself.
The thing that stood out for me on this leadership call yesterday was that pivotal for that young couple was their, Jones calls it mindset, and or change of mind. They started focusing on what they could give rather than what they were going to get. And so they started, like, how can we support the people in our different communities on what is it they want? And so now you're, you know, helping others with their goals. And that really just stuck with me. Okay, maybe that is something that I could change too, you know? Yeah.
You know what, Lynn, that you hit, that was huge. And I got that as well. I re-listened to the call today when I was on a hike. And that part, when I heard it again, and I thought to myself, you know what, we're kind of doing that. Like we are, you know, being more, we are, but I think we need to be more, like they made it like their intention. Like that was their main focus, was who can we help? Right? Whether it be with their health, whether it be financially, whether it be helping, you know, giving them a clear vision, right? Like you're right.
Just friendship.
Yeah, friendship. Yeah, just building friends, building relationships, you know, giving people what they want, right?
And then it'll, like you said, it'll come out of that. It'll come naturally, because it's our God-given right is to have health and wealth. And so if we just help other people, ours will also be taken care of, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think you see that in a lot of the leaders, Lynn, when you look at even Marjorie and Lawrence, they're not part of my team or our organization. And do you know how many times she reaches out to me after our leadership calls, whoever, if it's anybody in our Canadian team, they always send me a message. And even Lawrence and my mom have a relationship on Facebook. They're always commenting and sharing, and they've developed that kind of commonness, I guess you would say. And it's really amazing when, you know, when you see leaders like Marjorie and Lawrence, you know that they're constantly giving. When they, and she shared with me, when she had her children, before they were building their Neolife business, they were so poor. And she shared this with me, and I knew they were poor, but I didn't know how poor they were. They ate potatoes and cabbage every day for a long time. And those kids never complained. Like, you know, and they would, if they knew another family didn't have food and they got something other than potatoes and cabbage, it went to the other family. She goes, I remember my children walking to other people's homes with grain or something else that they weren't eating, giving it to the other family before they ate themselves. Like it's, so when you look at the successful people in the Neolife family, you will find that is a natural way that they are, and that most people are in this Neolife team. You will find that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, for sure. And they're trusting, they're just trusting that they will be taken care of themselves, that they help take care of others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Anybody else? Any other add-ons to that, or feelings, or anything that that inspired you so far with the little bit that we've shared so far?
Just one more comment. Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
One more comment on the leadership call. Well, the same idea, giving value. That's the jab, jab, jab. Giving value, and then asking for the sale. And he says he calls it relational equity. I love that phrase. Relational
Ah.
equity. When you give value, that you have equity. Just like you, Nada, right? You have relational equity. You've your kindness towards people, and they feel a certain, that's the equity. They will help you, right? Because you have that equity. So relational equity is what I like.
Relational equity. Yeah, that's almost a tongue twister. You have to say it a few times, right? But that's great. Relational equity. Cool. Thank you. And you know what? I also find that when you are setting these goals and you have that focus, it really helps to keep you stay positive. I think that's a huge, huge thing to being successful, because it's so easy to get knocked down. It's so easy for people to make you feel less than, or especially when people don't believe in you and believe in what you're doing. You know, we have something that can truly impact people, and especially with what's going out there today, right? What's going on all around. People don't understand. Like, we have something that can strengthen their immune system. Not, you know, we don't know, you know, if it can protect them from getting anything, but we know it can help to strengthen their immune system, right? And so we, you know, when you have that instilled in you and that desire and that belief, no one can knock you down. Okay, so we got to keep that clear in our mind, in our feeling, in our energy, that no one can knock us down. And the way I do this is I surround myself with, you know, like-minded people that do propel me. There's a lot of negative people in my world and in my life that I limit the amount of time that I spend with them. There's a lot of poison. They call them poisonous people, right? They can really destroy and be draining and take away that passion. And so it's so important when you have that passion and positive people around you, more of that, than when you have these little things going on around you that are negative. It's easy just to roll off, and you don't let it get you in that negative state. Okay. And this is when I call Joan, right? Or I call Cindy, right? Or I call Serena, right? You know, you need to call people in your team that lift you up. Okay. Lynn, is that another hand up, or is that the same hand? Go ahead. Unmute, hon.
Yes, I took it down and then I put it back up. I think I heard it first from Jim, and it really helps me when because he said it's when people say bad things about you, you're getting pulled down by people, and they're saying things about you, or whatever, about your business or about you. He says it's not you that they're really projecting it on. It's themselves. Like, they don't feel good enough. They don't, have a vision. They don't believe what you have. They have negative things. It's really about them. They're thinking those things about themselves, and they don't want you to. This is the part that Jim was saying. They don't want you to be successful, because if you become extraordinarily successful, then they won't look so good. They don't want you to succeed because it makes them look bad themselves. I always remember that. So when people are, saying things that not nice, it's like, okay, it's they don't feel good about themselves.
Right. Or they're in a position where they're not willing to make the change, because that's where I was at, Lynn, when I was working on the police force. Here I am, 25 years old, telling them that I was going to quit my job in 5 years. And I was working with guys, and they're like, you'll never leave your job, St. Germain. They'll go, you got security, and you've got your pension, you've got medical, you'll never leave this. And I just kind of looked at them and I said, no, mark my word, I'm not going to be around for 40 years or 30 years, like some of you guys, right? And we joke around about it, but I was adamant. I didn't know exactly when, but I knew that wasn't going to be my lifetime journey, and it made them mad. They were like making fun of me, and it was all through jokes and sarcasm, and I sensed it. And Jodo would say, they're just jealous. They're envious because they're on their whatever. They're probably on their third or fourth wife. And we just joke around and stuff. Because I work with all police officers that were, literally twice, third divorced, right? I'm not saying that a lot of my friends and family are too, but it was that environment that I was in, and it was quite funny. We would joke around, but I thought, no, I gotta, and it's funny when Al said to me, you got to share your goal aloud. Tell people what you're going to do and what you want to do, because when you start sharing your goal aloud and verbalizing it, that's when it seems more real, and it's propels you to like, okay, I told people I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. This is what I really want to do. And then that's where the action comes in, and the activities come in, and the 3 daily success habits come in, and the growth, the personal growth that Joan talked about. Like, it's really, really important. If things aren't happening, you have to look at, things that you need to improve in yourself, personal growth, getting to know the products better, whether it be doing presentations or whether it be inviting more people, talking to more people, sharing, whatever it is that you're not doing enough of, right? And you will know what you're not doing enough of, right? You know yourself what you're not doing enough of. And being persistent is so important. This is where it just keeps you on track. There'll be lots of barriers and obstacles, but you need to be persistent. Just keep on going. Persist. And you have to attack your dreams. You can't give up, because they can and will be yours. If you've got that clear vision and you're projecting it and you're sharing it, and you don't give up and you're persistent, you will achieve those goals. It might not be in the time frame that you've set the goal. Like I've been sharing with you, I was going to be, on the president's team this year. I'm not on the president's team this year, but you know what? I'm very darn close, and I'm going to be on the president's team. And now I'm looking at May 2022, and that's okay, right? So, I think when you're looking at this, don't feel like you're the only person that's not reaching that level at the date that you've set. But I'll tell you right now, I wouldn't be that much closer if I hadn't set that date for 2021. Okay, so it's really, really important that you see that. And some of the goals, some of you are already managers, or most of you, you're already above and beyond this. But there's some people that, we signed up a promoter under Eulalie, and we did a Zoom meeting with her, and she just wants to make $200 a month. That's her goal, and we're going to help her get there. We told her the things that she needed to do, and she was so excited. So you need to find out what they want to achieve and show them what it takes to get there. What does it take to make $200 a month? What does it take to make $1,000 a month? And that can be their focus for their next, for their vision, and writing it down, and writing the 2000 PV and putting it on their window or on their bathroom, or right in their car, in their wallet. Someone says even in their coat pocket, or somewhere that you go to in your purse. When you open up your wallet, there could be a card in there that you see every time you go into your wallet, right? That says, I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm a director. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm on the president's team for Ruby, right? So, and to achieve a car bonus. Some of you have hit 4,000 for a while. Now it's time to bump it up and to do 5,000 points where you get a car bonus. That could be your goal, right? So these are the different, I guess, goals in the marketing plan. But some of the things that you need to do to get to those goals is the action, the activity, sponsoring more people. We had a program back when I started 30 years ago. It was called 3 and 30. And we had 3 and 30 pins, and they didn't have the Achievers Club back then. And I remember my upline, Flo, and I did 3 and 30 every single month, probably for the first 2 years. We were signing up 3 people every month for the first, and it was customers, promoters. It wasn't just business people. And I remember we were on stage, we got an award, and that, so could you imagine why we were directors so quickly, right? Because we were signing up people and she was signing up people and it kind of happened, right? Doing one-on-ones, really important. It could be a goal, one a week could be a goal for you, right? Talk to 3 people a day about Neolife. Follow up with existing customers, bringing guests to health talks. So important, whether it be the ones we host, whether it be you hosting your own, like Mary Felix, who's been on our business trainings, she said, Nana, my guest can't come Tuesday. Can we do something Wednesday? I said, absolutely. Serena, we've done stuff on a Wednesday. And I know Leonie, we've done stuff. And Eulalie, we do them, all over the place. Sometimes they can't come to those times that we have. Okay. That's just one extra option for you to bring guests to. You need to be doing your own as well. Okay. Hosting your own talks, coming on the calls. I have to say, when I started this business, I very rarely did I miss a meeting, and I had to drive to them all. Even when I remember snowstorms, I would get in that car and Jill would be so mad at me. Where are you going? He goes, you should be home. And I wasn't like you, Joni. I'd be getting in that car and I'd be driving down Mississauga, no matter what the weather is like, because I wanted to quit my job. I knew I had to get to that meeting because Al told me it was important to not miss a meeting. And now, oh my gosh, you don't have to go anywhere. You can just put your ball cap on like me. Like I didn't have a shower today because all our bathrooms are being painted, but I put my ball cap on, put some lipstick on. I'm here at my Zoom meeting with you guys, right? So, you really need to understand the importance of events. It's so important. That's where the personal growth comes in, and those conference calls. We didn't have those. We didn't have these simple, easy, and they're recorded. You can go on the podcast. You can go back and listen to them and go back in the Facebook group and watch. If you didn't get a chance to watch it live, you get to watch it later. Like I went on a hike today and I wanted to listen to Elijah again today because I just loved some of the, I love the feeling that he exuded when he was doing his talk on Monday. Okay, so it just made me feel good, and I needed that today. So yeah, so that is there for you. Okay.
Can we get people's shares in case we run out of time?
Yes, absolutely.
So they can, when they say it, they say it to us, they're kind of committing. So it make them feel accountable, right? When they say it.
Yeah. Okay. So who wants to say their, thank you, Joni. Who wants to say their goal aloud? I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm a 4 Ruby director. I'm on the president's team, generating over 100,000 group PV a month, easily and effortlessly every month. Anybody else?
Yeah. So, well, my goal is to be 1 Ruby. Happy and grateful I'm 1 Ruby. May 2022. I have 3 directors. So it's important that people know, the steps, right? 3 directors. I'm doing 20,000 PVs a month. So I have to start in March, April, and May, and then I can qualify in May. 1 Ruby.
March, April, May. Excellent. And you have 3 people that you have that are going to be part of that. Like you have 3 people in mind, correct?
I'm looking for like six directors, so that sometimes life happens. And then
and I totally get it, Joni, because I've got all the directors, but they're not all consistent, and that's one of the reasons why I haven't. But you're right. The more people you're working with to get to the director, you will find those consistent directors. Absolutely, that's just the nature of the business. Excellent. Anybody else? Thank you, Joan. Patience, you have your hand up.
Yeah. My goal is to get at least 5 to 10 of my downlines have regular PV, like between 50 and 100, so that they get used to using the products, and then probably they'll learn the importance of having that regular purchase, and then so that and then also to develop at least 2 people to move on to senior managers, at least 2 of them. Then myself too, my goal is to try to be an executive manager by the end of, say, February, and maybe director by the middle of the year. That's my goal.
Okay.
Most importantly, get people to use the products on a regular basis.
So I'm understanding you, patients. So having a consistent customer base, right?
Yeah, customer base, but with the promoters themselves being their own customers.
Right. So first of all, consistent downline, and then finding two senior managers that are consistent, and
Yeah.
developing a solid, consistent director size business by what month was the director?
By
By
June.
June 2022.
Correct.
Okay. 2022 director size.
Patience. Why don't you start saying what do you want, right? If you want to, because you're saying how are you going to get those things, and how is going to happen, right?
Oh, well, I want to be a director by June.
Okay, so director by June, and then you have all those steps, right? But start with that, right? Focus on that. That's what you want.
I want to be a director by June 2022, period.
Yeah. And that's how I'm going to get myself to achieve it. Consistency with my downlines.
Yeah, absolutely. Excellent. Yeah, I'm sensing and feeling a more, what's the word, confident tone in your voice tonight. And that's really important that you say it with confidence, not like, oh, I'm hoping, or I'm going to try, or no, it's, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I want, and this is what I'm going to do. Okay. I'm feeling that you're getting a little stronger in that feeling, which is really good.
I think so.
Excellent. And that's where the personal growth comes in, like being on I don't think you missed a meeting yet, which is amazing. So, and you're not even part of our direct team. And I just say that to watch you.
That just keeps me going. Like,
yes,
it's
absolutely.
a daily reminder that I need
in.
to. Yeah.
Got to stay plugged in. Absolutely. Okay. Anybody else? Pauline, unmute yourself.
Okay, my goals. By the end of March 2022, I'd like to have three promoters introduce, and every month, I'd like to introduce 5 people to Neolife, and aiming to be EMO director by June 2022. Now, I can achieve these goals by working hard, look at my accomplishments, and just keep growing.
Joan, are you proud of her?
Hold on. March, when is the annual director? What month?
June.
June.
So January, February, March.
So March, April, May, June. April, you have to start with 4,000, right?
April, May,
Okay.
June. Yeah, April, May, June. Yeah, April, May, June to
Okay.
become emerald.
Become emerald, right? So 4,000.
Yeah.
April. Okay, got it.
Excellent.
Work on that.
We're writing this down, guys. I'm keeping notes. I have a book specific to our business meetings now. A nice book that Joan gave me for Christmas. Super great ideas. Yeah, you got one too, Pauline. Way to go. I love it.
I got one. Dream big, work hard, make it happen.
Yes, excellent. Okay, good. Then your dreams will come true. Okay. Anybody else? Come on, guys. This is for you.
I just unmuted myself. Sapphire director by June 2022. If I was to attach some PV to that, I'm going to say 14,000 total.
Well, 15,000, you get the bigger car bonus. So why wouldn't you do
15?
15,000?
Okay, 15. Well, okay, how is it bigger? Because with 14, if I have one, like,
Yeah, you won't.
I'd still get the 10,000, say, personal points plus the.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, Joan will know better.
You have 19,000 to get the 15,000.
Yeah.
19,000 to get the 15,000 car bonus. Okay, so put down 19,000 since I know you like that car bonus.
For June, okay. I was gonna say that could be the end of the year. I did reach almost 18,000 there at one point. So
Then you're not being audacious enough. So Joni, what do you think?
That's good. 19,000.
19,000, I think is a better goal for you, Cindy. You're being a little too cautious there, girl. I know you're what you're doing. Especially because you've got a few people that have reached out to you that want to build a business.
yeah.
You've got some strong business builders now, right? People that aren't just kind of wishy-washy. They're like, no, I want to build the business. This is what I want to do, right? So that's awesome. Okay,
Okay.
excellent. And who else is next? Serena.
Okay. I'm choosing my words carefully here. Up until now, I have been a senior manager, and I want to be an executive manager by March of 2022, with consistent 2000 PV. So consistent, because I have been really up and down sort of with my 1500. I want my 2000 to be consistent.
Okay,
With one promoter by March of 2022 as well.
okay.
And when
And
do you
when, do-
become director?
when's your director?
When?
Are you talking me or when?
Serena, Serena, Serena.
When will I be a director?
And would you like to be?
When would you like to be a director?
I would love to be a director by December of 2022.
Director.
Is that realistic?
Sooner.
That's sooner. You can, if you're going to be doing 2000 consistent, I
Okay.
would say you're saying by March. I would say April, May. I would say by June.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say then that you by the convention, right? You want to be a
So that you can be at convention as a director.
Oh,
Was that-
wow. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
What was that, Joan? You were saying something?
So May, she has to do it by May to be.
She had to do by May
All
20.
right.
22. That's
Okay.
your director. So I want you to, we're going to focus on that together. Especially if you have if you have a promoter, it's doable. It's
Okay.
hard to do if you're just building customers.
Right.
But if you build a new senior manager that does 1,000 and you're already doing 2,000 consistently, that's 3,000, right? So it's just building a few more customers that'll to get you that extra 1,000, right? So yeah, when you have more promoters, so much easier to
Awesome.
get there. Okay?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes. Thank you.
Cool. You're welcome. Who are you missing? When?
Trying to avoid your eyes.
No, I can't.
I was looking at what I had posted in my bathroom. That's why I left for 2 seconds, because I actually do have so happy and grateful in my bathroom. And, but it's not currently realistic. But I'm going to read it anyways, because it was what I put down last winter, a year
Right.
ago.
Okay.
So in the January, February winter side of things, not the December, November. I said, I wrote down, I am so happy and grateful that I'm earning a minimum of $4,000 a month. And heading
$4,000
towards,
or 1,000 or 1,000?
oh, $4,000
Okay.
a month, earning a minimum of $4,000 a month.
Okay.
And heading towards Sapphire Director by 2023. And that was one of my big goals that I,
If you're doing 4,000, you're a little more than a sapphire.
well, I said
Yeah.
I'm heading towards Sapphire. I'm
No,
heading
Is it
towards
No, if you're making 4,000 a month, you're doing greater than Sapphire.
Yeah, a little greater than sapphire, just above.
Oh.
Already sapphire.
Okay, well, that's why I guess that's why I'm thinking that I kind of jumped the gun, because I really, really want to be a director.
Yeah, I think that's,
That is really my goal that's going to light up my life.
yes.
To actually achieve that after working on it for so many months. And I do not have any active promoters in my business.
Up until now,
Up
right?
until now.
Well, now, well, I actually might have had one, but she's no longer active.
That's okay. You're going to find somebody.
Well, and there's my challenge living in a adult lifestyle community is I actually don't get to interact with people who are interested in making money. They're all retired.
Go to the grocery store.
Yeah, you gotta get out. You gotta get out. Ryan, we'll talk more about meeting and connecting with new people. Okay. That's your goal. Find new people. And that, you're right. It can be a real challenge if you're not connecting with new people.
Well,
Okay.
the other thing I wanted to say, and I don't mean this negatively, is that I find it challenging to lead with the business because I know that people are not, so far, up until now, I recognize that people are not wanting to talk to me about earning money.
See,
I
because
am trying
that-
to, I'm looking at their health concern that they voiced aloud and focusing on that and what I can do.
Mhm.
And I have had people challenge me, not necessarily in this community, but in my friends in Kingston, challenge me when I've suggested that maybe they'd like to look at Neolife products as a possibility of helping their health. They will say to me, 2 people have actually said to me, I thought you wanted to be my friend. I didn't know you just wanted me because you wanted me to be in your business,
Mm,
which shocked me.
mhm.
And it makes me hold back.
And I think when they've obviously they've been had a bad experience from their past. That's, you know, it sounds like they've had a bad experience. And, you know, I've had people feel that way too, but then I've just backed off, continue to be their friend, never bring up Neolife again until they ask you. That's the best thing. And just find new people. Find people that want to dance with you. Okay, and you will. Just back away from those people, still be their friends, but they're not going to be part of that. They're those the poisonous people that just sucking the energy out of you. You don't talk about the business of the products to them until they're ready to ask you again. Okay.
Okay.
And in terms of looking for business people, it's great to look for business people, but you go where they're taking you, right?
Yeah.
Products, you just go with them. You can't
Mhm,
take them
mhm.
where they don't want to go, right? Have it in mind when you ask the questions, but if they're not interested, then don't take them there.
Mhm.
Because it'll be frustrating to do that.
Mhm.
One of my goals is definitely to get people their 3 for free, because that's a huge step for people to actually share their story or a third party story to try and help their friends, you know, their family, whoever they want to join them. I find that that is a big part of my goal. I mean, I have my 3 for free in shades. And my cousin Kathy, who was one of my promoter, that's really what set her up to get to senior manager within 2 weeks of joining. She was a senior manager because she had an ability, a magnetism about her that just, she told her daughter, she told her friends, and they signed up. There was no question about it. It just wasn't maintained because she wasn't that interested in doing the business, as it turns out. But that was what made her really move up there. So I see that as an important step. If I want anybody in my team, my downline team, to actually feel successful, they need to get the products for free.
Mhm. And that's a great step. That's a perfect step. Sorry, Lynn, go ahead,
So-
Lynn.
When,
Yes.
let's talk more about strategizing and some of the ways you can
Idea.
talk with people and meet new people and so on. Let's do that. In the meantime, did you say your goal, or you want to re-say your goal for now?
Well, my goal is I'm so happy and grateful that I am a director with over 4,000 PV.
That's your goal.
Yeah, that's
With
great.
ease and grace.
There you
Right,
go.
Sabrina, to maintain it with ease and grace so that you don't fall backwards, you keep moving ahead.
Yep, that's
Very
what you
good.
want. That's what you
Okay.
want. Absolutely. Excellent. Thank you. Eulalie.
Okay, so my goal is to be director by April 2022. I commit to calling 10 people per day. I'm focusing on recruiting 3 customers per month. And I'm committed to having regular monthly one-on-ones with Nada.
And I know you've done a lot of legwork, Eulalie. You're making your calls. You're talking to people. I know you're doing it, girl. Excellent.
You know, I just need them to all start coming in. Let the floodgates open from January.
Be awesome, awesome, awesome. Did I miss anybody? Serena, Lynn, Eulalie? No, I think. I think we got everybody. Wow, we fit it all in. Thanks, Joan, for your seeing the timing of things. That worked out perfect. So again, projecting, focusing on 2022, right? I know it's going to be a busy time over the next couple of weeks, but boy, this is a time where you're meeting people, you're connecting with people, you're socializing, you're out grocery shopping, you're, go to other places that you don't normally shop. Okay, that's what I did today when I was with Cindy. I ran into Foodland. I tried talking to the cashier, and nothing panned out. But I was in a new environment, new people. I thought, heck, I'm going to try, right? So wherever you are, wherever you're going, just start conversation, compliment people, and the people that are painting my mom's house. I made them smoothies twice, and I promised them a smoothie breakfast in the morning, and they're hooked because they're all vegan.
Wonderful.
So I'm going to help my mom hopefully get a couple of customers out of this big job that she's doing, right? You just never know, right? You never know. And if I wouldn't have made the smoothies, and I heard them whispering, it's funny when Lynn said, what can you give? Be kind and give. And one of the pain, they're gone now. They said, she's really nice making us smoothies and everything and offering. She made me a latte this morning. And then the other painter goes, yeah, she made me a chai tea latte with oat milk with that frother. It was so good. And tomorrow she's going to make a smoothie again. Right? So I'm in, whether they're going to do the business and become customers, they're going to, and one wants a bottle of Super 10 because they're washing their hands with the Super 10 after painting. And he's like, I spent a lot of money on manicures, he says. And this cleaner makes my hands really nice. I got to buy a bottle of that Super 10. So all because I gave them smoothies and I made them lattes. Right? So you give, and you never know, right?
And it's the right hook. You're going to do the right hook.
That's the right hook, right?
The right hook.
Jab.
Yep.
Love it. Jab, hook. Love it, Joni.
Oh, what's you, Lily? I missed it. You, Lily?
Yeah, I read mine. Would you like to bring that up?
By 2022 and have 10
April.
people, talk to 10 people. Sorry, April 2022, talk to 10 people a day and 3 new
3 customers.
New customers a month.
Yeah.
Hey,
And
Nada,
talk to Nada once, do a
One-on-one.
one-on-one once a month with me.
maybe we can do a 3 and 30. Start that in our team. 3 and 30 recognition.
Yeah, we could do 3 and 30.
I'll work on it.
Yeah, so 3, I'll recognize the people that do 3 and 30 every month.
And maybe we could have a prize or something.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We definitely can. Yep.
Nada,
Okay.
do you have to be on the other call? We have 4 minutes.
Yes, I do. I will. Can you end the recording? Thanks, everybody. Have a great night. We'll see you over on the other side.
Okay.